Is this new tale from the Borderland worth your time? Let's talk about the new movie Borderlands. Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass. I'm here to talk to you about Borderlands, which comes to theaters on August 9th, 2024. It is a movie adaptation of the great, over-the-top, cel-shaded video game series Borderlands. It is coming to theaters finally. It looks a lot like Borderlands, but does it feel like Borderlands? My hot take is, look, I think you should pass on it. I was kind of between a watch later or a pass, but ultimately, I think my recommendation is a pass. It's not as bad as I think the critics are making it out to be, at least the ones that I've kind of browsed. The Rotten Tomatoes score doesn't feel as justified, but it is just not really a great movie. It's a film that has the style of Borderlands, but to me, it feels like it has style over substance. It's got the look of Borderlands, it's got characters from Borderlands, but the movie itself isn't super entertaining. It's not very funny. It doesn't feel very exciting, and it seems to lack some of the things that make Borderlands really, really special. So overall, I think you should pass on it, but I'm going to tell you a little about the film, a few things I like, a few things I didn't like, and then really quickly go into a recap and endings. So if you don't want to know what happens in this movie, I would turn it off when I get there. Before that, though, I'll keep it vague. I'll keep it spoiler-free. Let you know when I get to those spoilers. So in Borderlands, you have Lilith, who is a bounty hunter who has tried to stay far away from her homeland of Pandora, but a job that she can't refuse makes her return to this dangerous and wonderful place. Does she survive? Does she get her bounty? And what is this about a vault? Well, you have to watch the movie to find out. So, things I liked about this movie. The first, hey, look, I like the cast. It's a good cast. It's a good cast for a movie. I liked Kevin Hart in it. He was a little more bland than I expected Kevin Hart to be, but he was fine. Cate Blanchett was fine as Lilith, not super entertaining. Ariana Greenblatt was entertaining as Tiny Tina. And, it had Jack Black as Claptrap. I didn't like Jack Black as Claptrap, but I do like Jack Black. Also, Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis. It was a good cast. Now, is it a good cast for a Borderlands movie? Well, I don't know, but it is a good overall cast. Second thing I liked about this movie, I like the style. Look, it looks like a Borderlands game. It's got a similar look to it. It's got some bright colors. It's got some, wasteland type stuff. It's got psychos, and it's got, the character classes, at least for the most part. So it has the look of Borderlands. It looks similar to the game, which is good. It's always tough to translate that into a movie. So they did that. And the last thing I like the effects, although they were hit or miss. Like, some of the effects are exciting. There's big explosions. There are, like big battles and chases and things like that. But they are hit or miss. Sometimes it looks good. Sometimes it doesn't. When it looks good, it does look very good. So, things I didn't love about this movie. The first, it's just not very funny. Like, Borderlands is supposed to be a sarcastic, humorous type of set of series. And this just didn't have it. There were a few moments where I laughed and chuckled, but overall, the jokes just fell flat for me. They didn't feel like they were hitting the way that they should be. I don't know. Maybe it's just the difference between like playing it and interacting with it and watching it. They just didn't really have the same kind of humor styles I expected from a Borderlands game. The second thing I didn't love as much, it's just not very exciting. Like, it is a big quest. It is a grand quest, but I don't know. I never felt really kind of at the edge of my seat. Never really felt very worried. I don't know. Something about it just didn't really translate into an exciting experience. Again, maybe that's just the difference between like playing a video game and like watching a video game. The third thing I didn't love as much is kind of related to those two. I didn't really find it that entertaining. I yawned a lot more than I expected to. Maybe I'm just tired. I don't know. I did have a long night. But for me, this movie should have kept my attention. It's not very long. It's about an hour 35. I was definitely was not like glued to my seat the entire time. And the fourth thing I didn't love as much, like I said, the effects are hit or miss. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. And when they're not, they look like special effects. They look like CG effects. It's mostly with like some of the monsters and things like that, although some of the explosions don't look great either. Again, it's very weird because sometimes it look really, really good. Sometimes it looks like the video game. Other times, not so much. And the last thing I didn't love as much, this is probably the main thing. It feels like it lacks the substance. Like I said, this has the style. It looks like Borderlands. It's got characters that look like they're from Borderlands, but it doesn't really have the same kind of like substance as Borderlands. Like, the humor wasn't really there. It wasn't super exciting. It's one grand quest. There's no like other quests in there, which I get you can't do that in a movie, but I don't know. Maybe this should have been a TV series where you could have a few quests and slowly work in this like bigger quest overall. Also, there were like no superpowers, which is, something I liked about the game. That was the whole point of your class, is you have like a power up or like a superpower. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played the game, but there was like, my class was the gunner. I could drop a turret. That would be interesting if one of them could like just drop the turret somewhere at some point. The guns are, they don't really upgrade their guns at all, which is a huge hallmark of Borderlands. The whole point of Borderlands is all the crazy different gun combinations you can have. And do you want acid bullets, or do you want exploding bullets, or do you want this thing that, there's all sorts of different types of weapons. This movie doesn't have that. And some of that exists in the background, like there is a gun vendor, but they never actually go up to it. You would think that one of them at some point would go up and try to upgrade their gun, especially Lilith's character, because she's a main character. She probably wants a new gun. Never does that. So, all that being said, Borderlands comes to theaters on August 9th, 2024. Like I said, I think you should probably pass on it. I was kind of between a pass and a watch later, but overall, I think it's ultimately a pass. But if you do check it out, let me know what you think. Let me know what you liked and didn't like. And I'm going to really quickly go into a recap right now. So if you don't know what happens in this movie, I would turn it off now because there will be spoilers. So the film starts with the main story. The Iridians, I guess, were this race of super advanced people, things. They ruled the galaxy, and they left behind fragments of their technology in this vault on Pandora. And ever since they disappeared, Pandora has been overrun by like corporations and treasure seekers looking for this vault, trying to unlock the secrets. It has remained hidden ever since, but there was a prophecy that one day a daughter of Iridia, I think a daughter of Iridia, would open the vault and restore order to the broken planet. So that is the underlying story. And then we meet Tina. She is in some sort of space station, and a soldier named Roland said he was sent by her father to pick her up. So he takes her, and then all these other soldiers come and start attacking, and Roland has to like shoot his way out. It feels kind of similar to like Star Wars. Maybe it was like a Star Wars homage, because it's a soldier coming to save a princess in a cell, and then all hell breaking loose. Roland is working his way out, and eventually he runs into a psycho named Krieg, who is the psychos wear these like hockey mask-ish looking things, that kind of like hockey/gas masks. They are crazy. They are very violent. But he makes an alliance with Krieg to get out of here. Krieg was also in prison, so Roland is going to take Tina and also going to take Krieg. So they escape somehow. Now, Lilith is a bounty hunter. She gets contacted by Atlas, who is the head of this like giant corporation, this Atlas Corporation. He wants her to find his daughter, Tina, who was taken from him. So he offers her more money than she could hope for. And she's like, don't you have people do this? Don't you have like an entire army? He has something called the Crimson Lances, which is, I guess, his soldiers. And he's like, well, a Crimson Lance took her, so I can't trust them. I have to have an outsider. And also I need someone who knows the area, because Tina was taken to Pandora. Lilith is from Pandora. She grew up in Pandora. She left a while ago. She never wanted to come back, but a large amount of money seems to be able to get her back. So Lilith goes back to Pandora. So Lilith arrives in Pandora, and she starts making her way trying to figure out where this girl is. She talks to some locals. They give her some information, and eventually a little robot decides to like come help her. And this is Claptrap, although the voice is different. Jack Black is Claptrap. He doesn't do a bad job, but for me, it didn't have the same feel as the actual Claptrap. Maybe that's because I've heard him throughout the years, throughout various Borderlands, but it just didn't have the same bite to it. It wasn't as funny. I mean, Jack Black is a very funny person, so it's strange that I didn't find his Claptrap exciting. I figured I probably would, but for me, it didn't feel right. It didn't have the same kind of humor. It didn't have the same kind of robotic delivery. It was okay, but it wasn't great. Now, Jack Black, or Claptrap, finds Lilith, and Claptrap doesn't really know why, but he was activated when Lilith returned, and he knows that he has to help her. So Lilith now has this wisecracking, sometimes annoying companion to help her on her mission. Now, unlike Lilith, Claptrap is connected to, they call it the EchoNet. It's basically the internet, but it's called the EchoNet. And Claptrap can search there. So Lilith shows him the picture of Tina, and Claptrap searches. And he finds Tina far away. So they hijack a car, drive out there, and when they get out there, it is like this abandoned, kind of like, I don't know, it is this like abandoned area. She goes in and she finds this like room that looks like a kid's room. It's got lights, it's got stuffed animals. It feels very much like a kid's room. And in there is Tina. She says, you can come out now. And Tina comes out. Now, Lilith explains that she's sent from her father. And Tina's like, oh, I'm so excited to go back to my father. And she packs up some stuff and goes outside. And she asks Lilith if she can grab Tina's badonkadonk. And on her bed is a little bunny. So Lilith grabs that. And this is a booby trap. It starts beeping. It starts flashing red. Lilith runs out. She runs out as this thing explodes. She gets pushed out, and that is when Tina then calls in her new friend, Krieg, the psycho from the space station. They are now apparently best friends, and Krieg comes out and fights. So Lilith has to fight Krieg. They're fighting. Eventually, Lilith gets up to Tina and kind of takes her hostage. But it seems like the Crimson Lances were following Lilith all along, because during the fight, the Crimson Lances all come up and they try to take Lilith back. And Lilith doesn't want to do that, so she throws a exploding like bunny at the head of the Crimson Lances, this person named Commander Knoxx. It blows up. She doesn't die, but she gets pushed away. Tina's entire home collapses. Lilith grabs Tina and saves her. But now they have to fight the entire Crimson Lances, and it looks like they are outnumbered. And that is when Roland pulls up in what looks kind of like a Cybertruck and tells them all to get in. They all get in, they all drive, and they all try to escape the Crimson Lances. The Crimson Lances are pursuing them. They take some pot shots at them. They take some of the Crimson Lances down. But overall, it looks like they are outnumbered. And that is when Roland has an idea. He drives them through a thresher pit, which apparently has thresher piss in it. There's a sign that says, "Beware thresher piss." And there's a not really funny scene in there involving thresher piss. But in any event, they're driving through. Eventually, the Crimson Lances pursue them, and they're able to escape by like launching into a thresher that pulls up and shooting some missiles into the thresher, blowing like through it and driving through, and that's how they're able to escape. It should be exciting. It's not. It was a cool looking scene, but it just didn't feel very exciting. So now they have to continue on their quest. We find out that Tina is, they think that Tina is the daughter, this like daughter that was prophesized of, the daughter that can open the vault. And so they have to get the rest of the keys in order to find the vault and open it. So they go to a vault expert who's in Sanctuary City. Now in Sanctuary City, they don't know where the scientist is, but they do have a contact named Moxie. Moxie is a favorite Borderlands character. I think she was in Borderlands 2. She has a fun little bar where they go to like get more information about the scientist that is a vault expert. So when they get there, Moxie seems to remember Lilith. It seems like Moxie knew Lilith's mother and said that Lilith's mother was a good person, and they have a little bit of a catch up. And Moxie tells her where to find this vault expert. Now, while they're there, they have disguises, but one of the patrons at Moxie's bar recognizes Roland. I guess it was Roland's roommate when they were Crimson Lances. He's like, "Oh, I can't believe you're here. Like, that's so crazy. Like, they said that you did this stuff." So they catch up. You can tell that they're going to betray each other. Roland's roommate's like, "Oh, of course I would never tell on you," as he's like reaching for his gun. And Roland's like, "No, don't worry. I know you won't." And as Roland's roommate reaches for his gun, someone like tases his roommate. He collapses, and the crew gets out before the Crimson Lances can come and pick him up. So they go up to find the scientist. The scientist is named Tannis, and this is also someone Lilith knew. Seems like everyone Lilith knew. Tannis knew Lilith's mother, and Lilith's mother entrusted Tannis to take care of Lilith when she left Pandora. Tannis, I guess, did for a little bit, but then she just kind of like she could like put her in the care of these miners while Tannis went to keep searching for the vault because she wanted to find the vault. And so Lilith essentially grew up on her own without Tannis. Tannis basically abandoned her. And Tannis like, "Oh, I taught you how to survive." And she's like, "You abandoned me." So there is not really much love lost between Lilith and Tannis. Now, we also find a little bit more about Tina. Lilith asks Tina if Atlas is actually her father. And she's like, yes and no. Like, Atlas is apparently her creator. Tina was a clone from some Iridian blood that was found on a like piece of a vault key. So they took that blood, cloned it, and they made Tina and I guess many others. So Tina is special. He thinks that her father thinks that she can open the vault. And when they open the vault, they'll get the technology of the Iridians and be able to make super weapons. So Tannis, being the vault expert, puts them on the next quest. Apparently, they already have one vault key, so they have to find the other one. The other one is in this place called Caustic Caverns. So they get ready to leave. Now, the next morning, before they leave, Claptrap is apparently just like walking around the city for some reason. I don't know why. They're supposed to be kind of on the run. And he obviously gets recognized, and the Crimson Lances come to try to stop them. Now, they're able to sneak out. There's a big commotion, but Moxie kind of helps them sneak out in this trash. And they head over to Caustic Caverns. When they get there, they have to navigate this very sketchy walkway that's breaking as they're walking, but they're able to get through. Claptrap goes through a tunnel, opens the door. They get through here, and in Caustic Caverns are these extra bad psychos. So the psychos are generally bad. Caustic Caverns has these things called bloodshots. They're really bad psychos. So the group uses Claptrap as a distraction. He goes out there, he gets their attention, they fill him full of bullets. Claptrap is okay, but very hurt, and the team sneak on by. They go into this room that has all these crates and vaults and things like that, and Lilith They're like, we're never gonna find the key. And Lilith basically just like walks up to it and like finds the key. She seems to be drawn to it. Seems like maybe there's something going on there. So she has the key, and all of a sudden they hear this noise and they're like, what's going on? And then we find out that Claptrap is expelling all the bullets. He was shot a ton, and so now he is basically pooping them out in a very loud thing. But what's he gonna do? He's full of bullets. He has to get it out. This draws the Bloodshots in, and now we have a standoff because the Bloodshots come in here. We have to fight. Our friends have to fight their way out. They fight their way to an elevator, but the elevator is not working. So Tannis is going to rewire it, try to get it to work, while Lilith and Tina take out some of them, and Roland and Krieg take out more. There are these big fights. Again, no superpowers. I really wish Roland would have like dropped a turret to distract them. Why not? So they fight them off. They're almost ready to go, but as they're getting ready to leave, more things on the elevator break, and Roland has to step out and repair it. He steps out, connects some of the stuff, tapes up. I don't know why he doesn't just jump back in the elevator. I guess maybe he has to hold it. I don't know. It feels weird. He could have just jumped right back in the elevator, but he tells them to go. They hit the elevator. They all escape out, and Roland is stuck now with all these Bloodshots. Does he survive? Well, you have to watch. Our main concern is the elevator that is rapidly shooting up this shaft. It looks like it is going to explode out. As they're getting to the top, all of a sudden there's some weird energy, and whoosh, our friends teleport. They teleport nearby. So everyone takes shelter for the night, and in there we see that the two keys that they have, the key from the Cossack Caverns and the one they already had, fit together, and that makes a map of Pandora, which shows the vault. And Lilith is like, but there's 3 keys, and apparently Tina is the last key. There's the 2 keys that they've gathered, but the Tina is the last one. So they're worried that if she is used to open the vault, that might actually kill Tina. We'll see. Tina seems to be okay with it, though. She seems to, like, wants to do this. This is her destiny, and so she's okay with it. So Roland was able to survive, and he makes his way trying to track his friends. Now, back at the camp, Claptrap is repairing this beacon that Lilith gave him, and when he repairs it, he calls Atlas. Now, Atlas doesn't come immediately. He sends, like, a little ship, and Lilith and Atlas are talking. And although Lilith basically, like, tells him to go away, what it looks like is that she is working with Atlas, and Tina overhears this. So after the hologram of Atlas goes away, Tina basically thinks that Lilith has betrayed her, and so she throws a grenade at Lilith, and it blows up. So after this, Krieg, Tannis, and Tina all go to find the vault. Lilith wakes up later and is exploring this new area, and it turns out that this is her hometown, the town that she grew up in. She goes into a building, which is apparently her house, and she gets some more memories. We find out that Lilith was evacuated when it looks like some psychos attacked their town. And I don't know why her mother didn't come with her. It looks like she could have. She sent Lilith with Tannis, and then like the ship took off. Her mother seems like she could have gone. Maybe there was no room. Who knows? But that is what happened. Her town got attacked. Her mother took Lilith and had her fly away, and now stayed on Pandora. Now, while they're looking at this, Claptrap scans something on the wall, and all of a sudden he falls back, and you have like a hologram message from her mother. We find out that her mother, apologizes her for sending her away, but she had to send her away when she realized what she might become. She wasn't safe on Pandora, and Claptrap is going to help her fulfill her destiny. And they're like, just tell her what her destiny is. We don't find out there, but I think we can all guess what's going on. So while Lilith is coming to this realization, Tina, Krieg, and Tannis are at the vault, and they're looking for it. They can't see it. They don't know. And then finally, Krieg looks down and sees like something glowing. They open it up, and this is the key to the vault. This is the place where they need to go. Tannis puts the key together, puts it on the vault. Some lights happen, and there's a platform for someone to stand. Tina goes up to it, stands awaiting her destiny, and nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. And after nothing happens, then like some hologram looking things drop, and Atlas is there with a bunch of soldiers. Apparently he's been tracking them the whole time. Oh, so our friends are outnumbered by Atlas and his soldiers, and Roland drops in just at the right time and starts shooting Atlas. But Atlas has an ultra shield, so a bunch of bullets bounce off him, but nothing happens. Atlas tells his soldiers to kill them all, and that's when Commander Knoxx says, "Stop, wait." And she agrees with Roland. She said she should have helped him out at the start. And that is when Atlas vaporizes her with this like space laser. His like ship above has a laser. It shoots Knoxx. Boom, she's gone. So it looks like our friends are in a lot of trouble, but wouldn't you know it, that's when Lilith shows up. And Lilith says, stop and let my friends go because she is the daughter of Pandora. She's the one in the prophecy, and she shows them this by teleporting. And then we see all the little signs, all the little things that keyed us in before, when Lilith was like able to find the key easily when they were going up the elevator shaft. Lilith is the one that teleported them, although I don't think she realized it, and Tina took credit for it. Lilith teleported them, and now Lilith teleported into this fray. So she is showing that she is the daughter of Pandora. She's the one that has the special powers. So Alice agrees. If she opens the vault, then he'll let all of them go. So Lilith puts the key down. She stands on that platform. She rises into the air. And when she rises into the air, all this like power seems to come into her. And like fire wings shoot out from her. And she becomes the Firehawk, this like thing of prophecy, this like god of the Iridians. She becomes that. So now Lilith seems to have been supercharged. She has superpowers, and so she can use this energy to throw people around. She also uses it to give her friends shields. So now they're all fighting Atlas's soldiers, but all of her friends have shields thanks to Lilith. And so Tina starts throwing around grenades. Krieg starts fighting people. Roland is shooting, and even Tannis gets involved. She grabs a gun and starts shooting people too. So they're all fighting, but that is when Atlas calls down his own super guns from space, and they shoot Lilith. Lilith doesn't get killed, but she gets distracted. So after this, she goes up and tries to take out the guns on the ship. But unfortunately, her ship has shields too. So she gets up there, she tries to break the guns. They have a shield that knocks Lilith back down to Earth. And when she gets knocked back down to Earth, she gets dazed and the shields on her friends drop. So Lilith does get up though, and when Atlas fires the guns again, she uses all of her power to like make a shield and push the energy from the guns back. She pushes it back up into the ship, so that causes the guns to blow up. That also causes the ship to blow up, and it crashes into the ground. Now, it seems like all of our friends have taken out the Crimson Lances, but they're looking for Atlas. They can't find. They're also looking for Tina, and they can't find her. And we find that Atlas has her in a chokehold, and he says, "Take me to the vault now." So Lilith opens a portal and takes Atlas and Tina into the vault. And when they get in there, it is this like other dimensional thing. There's all these like floating cubes that I guess represent the knowledge of the Iridians. And while Atlas is distracted, Lilith takes his super shield off of him. So now he doesn't have a shield. Tina beats him up, and Lilith and Tina then leave the vault as a Thrasher or some other monster grabs Atlas and pulls him into like, I guess, the deep part of the vault. I'm not sure, but it seems like Atlas is going to be no more. I don't know why there was this like giant vault monster there. Maybe that was there to protect the knowledge. Maybe only the like Firehawk could go in there and survive. I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem like a safe place. And Lilith actually takes nothing from there. You would think she would take some of the knowledge, some of the technology to help this world. She doesn't take anything, and she just leaves. So afterwards, Sanctuary has a giant celebration. There's all these fireworks. Everyone's out celebrating, and all of our friends are up on like the rooftop where Tannis lived, watching the celebration. Roland and Krieg decide to go join the party, and Lilith stays up there with Tina, and Tina tells her to please to do the thing. And she's like, "You don't want me to do the thing." She's like, "Yes, you do." And so then Lilith powers up her Firehawkness, flies into the sky, and like causes a big Firehawk firework to happen. And that's the movie. I guess Lilith is now like this super god, and she's gonna make Pandora be peaceful, I guess. I don't really know if there's much of a sequel opportunity here, but I guess we'll see. But that is Borderlands. Like I said, I think you should pass on it. I was kind of between a watch later and a pass, but ultimately I think it's a pass. But if you do check it out, let me know what you think. Let me know what you like and didn't like. I would love to hear it. And thanks so much for watching. If you like this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.